Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to episode 2 of Zombieland Saga. Sorry for the lighting, not too much I can really do about that, I feel, but I'll try. But yeah, episode 1 of Zombieland Saga was definitely different and unique. It stood out from other things I've reacted to, stood out from other things I've just seen in general. And I liked it for that. Let's see if I can try to... That's a little better. A little. It definitely left me with a lot of thoughts, a lot of theories about things, as I mentioned last time. But as I kind of have said, I need to see more to really get a grasp on the series, to really get a feel for whether or not it's something I'm going to like or not. And I think that's going to be important. I think it's going to be important to really get a good grasp of this, because this could go a lot of different ways. And it could be good, it could be bad, it could be somewhere in between. We'll just have to see. Now, I do apologize right off the bat for it being so long since the last episode reaction. It's just, with everything that's happened, with the foot injury I had and all, it's just been a bad period of time to get to everything, so. But we're back, and hopefully, as we move back into this series and continue on, it ends up being a surprising hit. Now, as I've said before, if we do end up dropping this, we are just going to move down to the next, the runner-up from the poll, which I cannot remember what it was at the moment. Bob's Burgers, that was it. It was Bob's Burgers. So we would move straight into Bob's Burgers to replace this. But hopefully it doesn't get to that point. Because, again, so far based on the first episode, it's something I want to continue. Because even though I, again, can't say too much about whether or not I actually like it too much, I can say that it definitely interests me enough to want to continue on. So hopefully that helps things out. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't know exactly what to expect going forward. Again, as I said last time, I have seen like that, a little bit of that scene with the rap battle thing going on. But it was very much out of context at the time, and I didn't even see the whole thing. So it's like, that's kind of the only real footage I've seen of the series prior. Again, I knew certain things, like I knew about Lily being trans. And again, I don't know exactly how that's going to be revealed, if it's going to be made a big deal out of or whatnot. And that's pretty much it. So, yeah, still going into this mostly blind. So hopefully I enjoy this second episode. As always, we're going to do, at the moment, one episode at a time. If I end up finding the time and energy and motivation and all to do more than that in a video, then I will. And we'll just kind of take it as we go. So yeah, without really much of anything else to say, I will, right before we begin this, though, I will say, earlier when I was recording another video, an update video, which some of you probably have already seen, the camera kept cutting out, and I don't know why. I already, like, adjusted it. I changed the specific USB port it's plugged into. So hopefully it's going to be good, but just letting you all know in case anything happens. But yeah, so we're just going to get this started and hope for the best going forward with this series. So, that being said, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, that was the scene I had been talking about, the rap battle thing, which it kind of devolved from a rap battle to just Sakura kind of owning the stage. So yeah, that was, I had seen a little bit of that when they were going back and forth before. That's pretty much it. I hadn't seen like when Sakura took over the entire thing herself. I hadn't seen what like caused it to go into the rap battle in the first place. So there's a lot more context to it. But before I get into that, let me just say this. So I said after the first episode, and now again before we started this, that I definitely had to see more to really get a feel for what I would think of this. I think this episode helped with that. I think this episode helped me get more of a feel for what I think about this show so far. And granted, this is only at the moment. Obviously, my thoughts and views and opinions on it can change and develop over time. But as of now, I like it. Like, I don't love it, but I like it. Because there's one issue for me. There's one thing that I can't get over that is the one thing holding me back from, I feel like, really, really enjoying this to the full extent. And that is Kotaro. I can't remember the other part of his name. But their manager, their benefactor, the guy who brought them back to life, whatever you want to refer to him as. Kotaro, I hate his fucking guts. And here's the thing. The reason why I can't get over that right now is because I don't know if we're supposed to hate him. I don't know if that's intentional or not. But I hate him. He's an asshole. He's just completely shitty to all these girls. He's forcing them into something that they really don't want to be a part of after having somehow brought them back to life as zombies. And it's just like, he clearly has some kind of secondary motivation to this that he's not, like, disclosing right now. And again, my theory is still that, oh my gosh, her name is now escaping me. The one girl who's still a zombie. Tai? Yeah, Tai-chan. My theory is still that maybe she's connected to him in some way, maybe his daughter or something else. And that his goal here isn't really to save Saga, necessarily, but to save her. Now, mind you, that's just a theory still at this point, but honestly, I think it's the only way that they could make him likable here. Because at this point, he's scummy. He's horrible. And when you find out, like, okay, these three girls, mostly the two, Sakura was trying to get them to go back. But when they're out and about, and the cop who has the voice that really does not fit his personality or appearance at all, and those weird rapping thugs, I don't know how else to describe them. They were weird as fuck, by the way, but in a very entertaining way. But when all of them saw the three girls as zombies and everything, and the cop shot at them, missing, luckily, but still, we find out that Kotaro's just in the back, hiding in the background, just watching. I mean, granted, yes, the first time with Sakura, after she first woke up and all, like, he saved her and all, but here, he's just watching. He's just watching them. I doubt he would have really interfered. Like, what if they had gotten shot? And what if, like, one of them had gotten shot in the head, you know, which would be fatal to a zombie? That is how you kill a zombie. I don't think he truly cares about any of them. Except, again, maybe Tai, who, from the first episode, as we saw, she was the only one he didn't give any kind of backstory or history to. And when Sakura asked about it, he actually got really defensive, which leads into my theory about them. So, but yeah, it's just, I don't feel like he actually cares about any of them. He's using them. And this episode really just hammered that in. And the way he was speaking, like at the beginning of the episode when he's like talking to all of them and everything, they're just sitting there and he's talking to them and arguing with them. Did you hear the tone of his voice when he was talking to them? He was being a piece of shit. A sarcastic, mocking piece of shit. Pretty much the entire time. So it's the one hang up I just can't get over with this series right now that's stopping it from being anything more than just good. Again, if they do something legitimate with his character and if they make this thing with Tai actually happen and it ends up working really well, then awesome. And it really helps his character, then awesome. I'm good with that. But for now, it's just like, I don't know if I'm supposed to hate him, but I really do. And it's the fact that I don't know that bothers me so much about it. So this episode, they're just kind of continuing with everything. And we get to see how the other girls are after waking up. Saki is especially focused on in this episode. She is the former leader of the biker gang. And as you would expect, she's the kind of tough as nails, just standoffish one. She doesn't want to have anything to do with this, but instead of running off like the other two girls were trying to do, she's just basically being a bitch and just like, I'm not going to run off, but I'm just going to refuse to do anything. And we see throughout the episode, Sakura's trying to talk to her, trying to get her to, perform and everything. And she's refusing and all, and she's just being really ornery about it. But then they get to the performance, and she really likes the makeup job done. And at first, it looks like she's going to at least play along. But then when things start going wrong, thanks to Tai, she starts basically being a brat by playing keep away with Tai's head, which, by the way, the people there were way too okay with all of that. Like, you see how the cop and those thugs reacted to just seeing these girls. I mean, granted, yes, they were in makeup during the performance and everything, but still, you see a person's arm pop off and then their head do the same. That's not something that people are just going to be chill about, even at a show like this. That's just not going to happen. It felt a little weird, but it kind of played into the zany weirdness of this show, so it didn't bother me that much. But either way. So Saki and Sakura get into the rap battle, and then Sakura just completely owns the stage. Saki respects her after that and agrees to work with this as her goal to take over, which is left very vague and everything. But Saki seems to have this character quirk that I actually found really fucking hilarious. She constantly keeps bringing up her Tamagotchi. Like, when she and Sakura are talking earlier on in the episode, like, her last line before she basically walks away is like, my Tamagotchi's probably dead by now. And it's like, what? Where did that come from? It felt so random and out of place, but again, in an entertaining way, in a funny way. And then she brings it up a couple more times. And it's like, what is this about? What's the deal with the Tamagotchi? It's like she even says that Sakura has like an egg-shaped head and it reminds her of a Tamagotchi. And it's like, what? I mean, here's the thing. growing up, I definitely had a couple Tamagotchis. I grew up with them. I know what they are. I understand what the deal with Tamagotchis dying is and everything. I get all of that. So it's not like this made no sense to me or anything. It definitely did. But it's like, it was just so random. Because I had no connection with anything else that was being said. It came out of nowhere. It was completely just out of left field, and they kept hammering in the joke, like in a recurring way. And it was funny. And I think that that sometimes works, whether in a show, a movie, a game, whatever. Bringing in that just really random piece of humor that comes literally out of nowhere, but kind of using it in a way as a character quirk. It just works somehow. I don't even know how to explain it. It's legitimately funny. Um, we did see some of the other girls in this episode, though. Like I mentioned, the two who tried to run away. One of them had a little bit of a confrontation beforehand and was showing some definite just lack of clarity with everything going on. And they ended up trying to run away and everything, and that was a scene for them, but they were definitely not as focused on, I feel, as Saki was. And the others, there's I don't remember her name, but she's like the kind of more fancy chick who was playing the music. What was that? I know what the instrument is. I just can't think of the name right now. Um, yeah, I just can't think of it at the moment. But she's playing that during the rap battle and everything, and she seems just a lot more prim and proper. And then Lily got a couple moments too, like she's getting the crowd hyped during the rap battle and stuff. And yeah, just generally just kind of being cute, which I guess is kind of what her character is going to be going for, maybe. Just she's the cutesy one. Um, but yeah, they definitely did a lot more with Saki here. Um, they also brought up again that Sakura doesn't have memories from her past life, which again, it's been like, I believe it was 10 years since she died to when she was resurrected. And it's like, okay, so she doesn't remember her life beforehand, but it seemed like Saki did. Saki knew who she was, how she died, all of this. So why doesn't Sakura remember? Why doesn't she realize what's going on, or who she was and what she was into and all? Because it's made very clear that she recognizes some of them, like the two, especially again the two who are kind of the more popular ones, the famous idols and stuff. It was made clear that she recognizes them but can't place it. And obviously she was an idol fan before her death and was like working to become an idol and stuff. Um, but it's like, I'm wondering why she can't remember. Is there a reason? Did something go wrong in the resurrection? I don't know how all that works, but maybe it's just a little mystery to be solved as the series goes on. Um, yeah, but overall, this episode was better than the first in grabbing my attention and delivering a lot of good humor. The first episode was kind of just okay. It definitely wasn't bad, and it definitely got me interested, but it left a little to be desired in terms of the hook of it all. This one definitely hooked me in better. But it would not have worked without the first episode, obviously. Um, so it's like, at the same time, I acknowledge that the first episode was still needed for this to work so well. And in that way, it's basically just like My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia's first episode really isn't that special. I mean, when I first watched it, I wasn't that impressed with it, and I thought people were over-exaggerating on how good the series was, the manga readers and everything who had known about it prior to the anime coming out. When the first episode was released back in 2016, I was like, okay, this is not living up to the hype. But then when episode 2 came out, it's like, holy shit, this is amazing. But it required the first episode for the second episode of My Hero to be so good. And then, of course, it just snowballed from there, and yeah, is freaking phenomenal. But still, I feel like Zombieland Saga is very similar to that, very much the same. The first episode wasn't all that impressive and honestly did not live up to the hype for me. A lot of people hype up this show and make us and talk about how great it is and make it sound like it's one of the best anime in recent history. And the first episode just didn't do it for me. But the second episode was a vast improvement. And granted, I still think it's a little overhyped, and I don't think it's quite gotten to that point yet like My Hero did. But it definitely helped, and it was definitely good. And like I said, I like this series so far. Anything can change, though. There have been plenty of shows that I've started that I liked at first that I ended up not liking in the end, and vice versa even. So it's like, who knows where it's going to go from here and how I'm going to enjoy it or not from here. We'll just have to see. But in the meantime, tell me down in the comments below what you thought of the second episode of Zombieland Saga. If you've already seen the episodes going into the future, please, no spoilers. I want to remain as spoiler-free as possible. And considering we just had the rap battle, the only bit of the series I've really seen, I'm pretty much entirely spoiler-free going forward. Again, except for the fact that Lily is trans. That's the only other thing I know. And again, I don't know any context behind how that's revealed, if it's even made a big reveal out of. So yeah. But I'm definitely interested to see more. We will definitely be continuing this. So yeah, tell me your thoughts down below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If you want to check out any of my social media links and more, please check them out over to the side. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave those down below. In the meantime, though, thank you so much once again for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.